All right, beautiful morning. We're out here at this property and we did a little diagnostic work the last time I was out here, but I think we have a float switch that we're going to need to replace inside this grinder pump basin, which unfortunately is located below this concrete flagstone piece here. So we're going to do a little digging, get the pump basin opened up and see what's going on the inside. Not good. Whew, that does not look good right there. Looks like it's really full, but also I can see a union right there as part of probably the pipe coming up from the pump. It looks like the pump maybe tipped over or something came apart. Does not look good, and so let's see if we can dig our hands into this and figure out what's going on. I'm taking a deep breath because I usually do before I have to do something pretty challenging or gross, and this is very gross. Oh man. No. Okay, so this is like that flex, 2-inch flex Orenco kind of piping right here. I can feel. Got our union. We got a 90-degree elbow. We have what I believe is probably that's the ball valve. So not much else I can see. I'm gonna try to get this pump to turn on somehow. And the pump may be burnt up, so it's hard to say whether it's going to turn on or not. But what I'll probably do is open up this splice box right here and take a look at those connections, and I might use the shovel to work this material around a little bit, see if I can locate where those float switches are. Alright, just took the lid off of this internal splice box, which is not the type of splice box that we use in Sonoma County here. At least per Sonoma County code, we are required to use an external splice box. But just open this thing up to have a look inside. And so what I can immediately see right now is I can see where there was a silicone filled wire nut, and it has completely melted. So the wires itself inside that wire nut got extremely hot and melted the wire nut completely. So there was a short that happened in here. It's possible that the pump is burnt up. I'm going to go ahead and silence this alarm here. And before I do much of anything else, I'm going to go ahead and shut the power off. Well guys, looks can be deceiving, and at first glance, when I first saw the top 90 of that pipe right before the union, I thought that maybe the pump had come apart, but was not the case. It was just a hose and valve assembly there. All right, so I got this old pump pulled out of here. It's a quite large, very heavy, it's a Barnes 120 volt, looks like half horsepower pump, sewage pump. So what I found so far is I was tugging on this towel kind of debris. You know, it could be a baby wipe or something like that, and that's all wrapped up around the impeller in there. And so my suggestion to anybody that is having to pump sewage, you know, anything that's getting flushed down the toilet from a household, sewage pumps work great if it's just toilet paper and poop. They do not work all that great if they run into a baby wipe or other. So anyways, I'm going to get that freed up out of there. I'm going to separate the wires for the pump itself and try to just plug that into an extension cord just to heat it up independently and see if we can get this pump spinning. And if not, I'm going to recommend to the property owner to probably go with the Liberty 1 horsepower 115 volt grinder pump, and that way there's far fewer issues with things jamming them up. So yeah, let me pull that towel material out of the pump and get it connected to some power and see if we can get it running in manual mode. Alright, so just a glove in one hand, some pliers here. We're going to try to get this material out. Yeah, it's really in there. This is really lodged in here. It's just, unfortunately, it's just ripping out in little pieces. So I'm going to give this a few more minutes and we'll see if we can get it out of there. Alright, so I got some good news. I just replaced some of the wire nuts for the pump, and after removing that towelette debris from the bottom of the pump, I got this thing working again. So let me show you here. Got the power back on. Just gonna lift up the alarm float and then pump float. So even as dirty and as ugly as this thing is, I'm gonna be able to put it back down in there and get it working tonight. All right, so got this sump tank all put back together, and when we were dry testing it, not underwater, the pump sounded to be running strong. It was this fabric material that was in there, probably a baby wipe or something like that. So now the moment of truth, I've bundled up all the wires best I could, got the pump pull rope zip tied on there, and if you notice in the video, I'm going in and out of this door. Well, that's me turning the breakers on and off so I can test things as I'm going. You know, when I'm putting wire nuts back together, whatever I'm doing, I'm constantly checking, making sure that the connection that I made was good before I move on to the next one. So I'm gonna walk straight through the door right now and hit the septic breaker on, and what we should hear is the alarm, because it is in high water, and this thing should start pumping down right away. So hopefully there's not another towelette down in there. I guess we're soon to find out. All right, pumping down good. Pump down real good. So I'm gonna silence the alarm in here. Push to silence. There we go. All right, seems to be pumping down really good. I think the property owner got lucky here, didn't burn up the pump, and as you can see, all back together. Alarm works, pump float works in automatic, and pump down. So what I'll probably do is see if I can get a hose together and just hang out for maybe another half an hour to an hour and add water to the pump tank and see if I can continue to pump some more of this liquid and debris out of here to make sure we got all the solids that are in this tank currently. Therefore, moving forward, so long as the tenant doesn't flush any baby wipes down the drain, the property owner should be good here for a little while. But we're still going to give them a quote for changing this internal splice box to an external splice box, or just running new cords all the way up into that panel that you saw right through that door right there. All right, the property owner went upstairs and flushed the toilet. We just wanted to check and make sure everything was coming through, and as you can see, that flush came right through. There was a little bit of solid matter down in there, maybe at the 90, that was kind of stuck in there, but I would say that's a successful flush, and we're gonna go ahead and put the lid back on this guy and get it backfilled until if the owner chooses to hire us to come out and change out that splice box situation. All right, over and out.